Hey guys, how you doing? Dave again here, JDH Reptiles. I have a little cheat sheet here. I want to do a video to let you guys know how our 2023 season ended. So I'm going to go through a lot of numbers, and I'm going to let you know, pretty much how our season ended up going. So we had 29 clutches. That's all we did, 29 clutches. We had some really good clutches. We made some real good powerhouse animals. And we also had some that we're glad we're moving out some projects because they no longer fit into things we're interested in. But with that being said, the numbers for this year, we had a total of 202 laid eggs. We had 8 slugs that were laid. Okay, so out of those 202 eggs, we incubated all of them. We ended up with 182 hatchlings. So that means we lost 20 eggs or hatchlings before they hatched. So that's it's a bummer. It's 10%. It's not really that good. We did lose one entire clutch. That was that super lorry to the het red exanthic yellow belly, where it was 10 eggs and they all were deformed and kinked, and they all the eggs made it through incubation. None of the animals inside the eggs were good. We had the one albino clown to the pastel double head albino clown clutch, where if I remember right, that was 7 eggs and a slug. And we ended up with 2 animals because all the rest were kinked and deformed. So we lost 5 there. So that's 15 alone. And the others are just whether it was an egg that went bad during incubation or whatever. All other animals that came out, that were cut and came out, they all were fine. So out of those 182 good animals that came out, that made it into tubs and started feeding, we held back 43. Now, what I will say is I have 5 animals that I'm waiting to shed test. And that is the fire, red stripe, posset for G-stripe, clown, hypo, all that stuff. So those 5 animals are not included in this list. So they're included in the 202 and the 182. But as far as the whole bags go, depending on what the shed testing is, will depend if I hold any of those back. And they're not going to be part of our available animals in this list either. So just count there's 5 left. But out of the 182 good animals, we held back 43. So that means we had 139 available animals this year. At this time, currently, not including those 5 animals, we have 37 available animals. We sold 102 animals. So, excuse me, clutch 1 was laid on 4/6. It hatched on 5/31. Our last clutch, clutch 29, laid on 8/15 and hatched on 10/9. So basically over the course of 5 months, not even 4 months, we hatched 202 or 182 good animals. And so our last clutch was 10/9, which is the one that's up there that we haven't done anything with yet. Now, since then, so we've been offering animals basically since probably right around July. So we're 6 months in, 5 months in. In 5 months, we've sold 102 animals in 5 months. So that's not bad. We have, like I said, we have 37 available animals currently sitting here. So, what does that mean? Last year we had more clutches. I believe we, though, had right around the same amount of animals. And then I also feel like we sold a few more animals last year. Like we have 2 animals from last year. That's it. We held back more animals last year though too. So I would say from last year to this year, I personally don't believe we noticed much of a drop. If we can move you know, another, say, 30 animals in the next 2 months, I would say we're probably right on par for every year so far we've had. Otherwise, it may have slowed just slightly. But, I mean, to sell 102 animals in a couple months, that's not bad. I believe my average right now is right around 450 per animal. I think that's my average. So when you take that into consideration, that's some pretty decent money. And what's supposed to be a very slow year and moving quite a few animals. Now, I've been doing some deals lately, trying to move these last, 37 animals. But on the flip side of that, I'm also not in a huge hurry because as we are currently breeding for this year, we're not in the position where we don't have space. We've done pretty well. We've got plenty of space. I've got rack space for next year's animals already. So even in a perfect world, if we were to have a clutch in the next 60 days or 90 days, then we got 2 months of incubation. We're in no worry here. There's no concern about running out of space or not having anywhere for our animals coming for the next season. But it is something that I would like all of you to consider is what would you do if you're currently breeding, you have animals from last year, and you got no space? You just going to keep buying more racks, or are we going to minimize the amount of clutches that you're going to produce? So for us, what we did this year is we sold some males, some breeder males. Matter of fact, I do have a couple left if you're interested in any. We sold some breeder females, which I think we have a couple of those left as well. But we did, our amount of clutches this year, I believe, is going to be, so as far as the amount of clutches go for this year, it looks like we're going to pair right around 40 or 41 females. Last year we paired right around 54, I think, or 56. So we did lower the amount of animals we're going to breed, but that's also mainly due to the fact we moved out a lot of our non-recessive animals so we can more hone in on the things that we're really passionate about. Because I'd rather have better, higher quality animals with better genes and things that we really want to work that we're pairing than just pairing to have animals to sell. So that's the difference between this year and last year, is we've decided to minimize by about 15 animals, or a very small amount though. But pairing that many animals, we could still get just as many, if not more clutches this year if we have a really good year. So that's kind of the breakdown here of 2023. We're now jumping into 2024. We're just pushing more recessive, double recessive, triple recessive stuff this year. And hopefully we'll start making some of that really nice heavy hitter stuff. The double visuals, triple visuals. We'll see. I think we still have a handful of animals we really need to trim down. So it is possible that I'll have more females or more males available later in the next few months. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested in anything, let me know. I can put you on a list and let you know what we have available and what we're going to have available. But I really want to just focus on making visual recessive combos from here on out. I'd really rather not make many more hets unless it's projects where, like the Kiki project, for example. We're going to need to make more that are like visual clown, 100% het G-stripe, or visual G-stripe, 100% het clown, because that's just the route we're going to go. We're going to have to, in order to make double and triple and quads, you do still need to make some hets or double hets or triple hets or quad hets, but they have to be geared toward that project. And if they're not geared towards specific multi-recessive projects, then we're really not going to try and make many just single het combos anymore. They got to be doubles, triples, or quads. And if we're not making those, then we're just not going to pair those animals, which means we'll probably have more animals available. Now, there are a couple projects like the Lori project where I'm still working off of non-visual animals and making visual or hets to make visuals down the road. That will still focus on, because that's a gene that I'm really passionate about. We'll make some more sunset stuff and het sunset stuff, because obviously that's a gene we're passionate about. But other than that, we really are going to start focusing on the doubles, the triples, and the quads, and hopefully making some doubles, maybe making some triples, but definitely making hets, triple hets, and quad hets for this year. So that's kind of a breakdown and where we're focusing for 2024. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave those down below. I'll be happy to answer that for you. But outside of that, guys, you take care. We'll see you on the next video.